get on it and do it perfectly well. So I want to really understand I want to really get the feel of the room so I don't start repeating some conversations that we're all familiar with. So we maximize our time here today. So please, okay, let me start with for myself. To give the example. So my name is Ebube, and I'm quite familiar with Microsoft Word. I rate myself a 7.5/10. And one thing I can do on Microsoft Word that even if I'm sleeping, I can do it to the best of my ability is to customize a Microsoft Word for letter-rated printout. So that's for me. So who wants to go next, please?
Okay, so participants are muted, but you can leave. Okay, Kester says you rate himself a 5/10. Okay, so Kester is joining remotely from Canada. Thanks for joining us. So the question to our audience is, first of all, we'd like to have a feel of the room. If you they wake you up from sleep, what's that Microsoft Word tool or Microsoft Suite, as it were, tool that you can use effectively, and how would you rate yourself? Okay, I'm saying 8/10, 6/10. Okay. Oh, what document? Okay. So please let's keep the responses coming so that we can have a knowledge base. We can have an idea of the overall knowledge base of the participants in the room. Okay, so I'm saying some, oh, okay. Comparison to 8.5. Okay, that's nice. 4/10. Thank you. 6/10. 6/10. Okay. What document? 5/10. So yeah, so I think we have a good number. We have a sizable sample size. 2/10. Okay, that's cool. 5/10, 1/10. All right. So do you have good enough response?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I would also like to know those have responded. What is that particular thing in Microsoft Word that you can do even from your sleep? You don't have to, wash your eyes first to be able to see very well, to be able to achieve it.
Okay, from what I'm seeing, for most people, it appears it is Word. So Word documents. Maybe because we are lawyers, we type a lot. So I'm guessing for most people is okay, type and print. So I'm saying no
Okay, tap and print.
comparison,
Okay.
type.
Okay.
Yes,
So
for
I'm still
most people
supposed
is
saying
word
8/10.
processing.
If I'm saying 8/10, that means I have me and I rate myself 7.5/10. That means I have some people that have been co-moderating or co-facilitating this session. I have now over 10. I have some guys in the house that will be following me to, you understand. If I forget anything, I will just call on. I'm seeing Uwana Obios. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your name correctly. So I could just call on anyone to please help me with this part. You get. So don't change your score now. Our brother got this. Let me screenshot it so I could, you understand. All right. So thank you everyone for your comments. I'm having a little bit difficulty setting up my slide.
Okay, what's the challenge?
Can you check your DM? I sent you a WhatsApp message.
Okay. Okay, so I'm working on that. Apologies. Let me check that.
Right, it's no problem at all.
Okay. Okay. So what's the name of the other device so that I just know
Okay,
to
I'm
make
in.
it?
I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sharing my screen now. And um
Can you share on the other device? Okay, allow.
so
All right.
I'm requesting to share. Have you seen the request?
Yes. Yes.
All right, great. So could you please confirm if you can see my screen?
It's loading. So it's trying to come up. Okay, yes, I can see it now. Thank you. Yes, you can go ahead. Ebube, your mic is muted. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Let me see. Oh, sorry. Apologies for that. Okay, so you
I
can
thank
unmute
you.
now. Yes.
I've actually been talking since, so I've even almost finished the session. So I'm kidding. So today we are going to be looking at beyond the basics.
Apologies for that.
No problem. So we're looking at beyond the basics of Microsoft Word. And yes, Microsoft Word is to go software like we all know for typing and printing out. Like I believe every secretary in every office or people that what I call it again. There's a word I'm forgetting in. They're normally clerk, yes. Every clerk is something that they usually can do print and type and print out. But beyond those primary or should I call them basic things that the software can do for us, there are a lot of things that we can use the software for, and that's why we're here today. So let me just go next to the next slide. So now I just did an outline of what we are going to be saying today. Time permitting us, we are going to look at size, handling long documents, tracking changes and plus compare, main merge, templates, quick parts, and we're looking at AI and some add-ins and extensions that enable our word. Sorry, let me put on my video so you see me. So to enable our work, can you see me? So to enable our wait, please hope you can hear me.
It was breaking for a bit, but you can go ahead.
Okay. So I was saying this is are the outlines that we're going to be saying today. And I just listed them out, but they are on the screen. And I can show the slide if the team wants me to share it with the participants, of course. So let's just go straight to the next session. So we've briefly done this. I wanted to know us and just get to have a feel of the room, have our needs assessments, and let me know those that will be assisting me during this presentation and those that I'll be focusing on as well. So I was really happy to see everyone responding and sharing their. Sorry, somebody say can you hear my voice. Hope you can hear my voice now. I'm just seeing the chat.
Yes, I can hear you. You can go ahead.
Okay, great. So let me just go back to the slide. So we've just taken the needs assessment and introduction, which we guys use the chatbots. So I'm just going next to the next slide. So why are we here? If you go through the needs assessment, persons were very confident of their work skills, suppose were not that confident, but it's important that as layers in the room, we all are on the same page, we are carried along. I said something, was it yesterday? Yes, I facilitated a session where I said the your weakest point or your security, your digital security or digital knowledge as a group or organization is as strong as your weakest link. So we need to ensure that the said so weakest person or wicked skilled person at least have this skill of software is just as basic as Microsoft Word. And what is statistics saying? We see over 80% of lawyers are just comfortable with just knowing just the basic of what's it called Word, as long as they can print their document and type. That's all. So, but there's need to know more and why. It ensures consistency across your documents and it reduces human errors. So when we go through some of the activities I have for today, you will see how some of the things if you were to do it yourself, when human do something, collect data or try to analyze something, because we are humans, there's a tendency that we can easily, make one or two errors. But when we set this in a way that we automate some things, give the instructions for something to go this way, the chances of error are very low. So that is the essence of we having this session today. And so increase our efficiency, of course, save time. The time you used to be going through documents, run through documents, especially when you have a long proceedings or long files that you have typed and you need to, go through all of them. Maybe you're searching for a particular case or a particular clause. Um, it takes time. So when you have them structured, like the first thing that's a consistency across documents, it saves you that time for easy navigation and all. So enough of the trunchy, that is the English. Let's just go straight to the first features we're looking at, which is styles. So I tag this as the foundation. What do I mean? If your whatever document you are typing on what's it called, Word, Microsoft Word, and any other word processing software you use, be it Google Doc, WPS, whatever products of Word out there, the basic foundation is your styles. Your styles determines every other thing in your Microsoft Word. By the time I mean, if you're going to call for your table of content later in the work, if you don't have styles, you will be unable to do that. If you're going to do some merging navigation, if you don't have, you are going to have a navigation page to be able to move from one section to another or move one section of the argument to another section, you will be unable to do that. So style is very important, and as important as it is, most of us, or most people, let me just use us in this room, most people don't really know the essence of that styles. So people think, okay, maybe just to give a different fonts to my writing, why only a few others, okay, why we need to use them. And so for the first activity we're going to be doing now, we're going to be looking at styles. So I'm going to be walking you through one of my documents. Please confirm you can still see my screen.
Yes, please. Yes.
All right, great, thank you. So I'm going to let me just search it out. So I'm going to open it. Okay, let me just go to um, sorry, a minute, please. I thought I have it again here. Mm, okay. So I'm just going to open a document and show you what styles can help you do, like when you have them already in place from the very beginning, how easy it becomes for you to be able to do every other thing that words allow you to. All right, great. So if yeah, we can see this type of content here, right? Can we all see the type of content that I'm showing?
Yes, I can
You can
see
give a
it.
thumbs up. You can see it. All right.
Yes.
I hope participants are allowed to react. Let me be
Yes,
sure that
they can
well, yes,
react.
please. Please, our dearest participants, you can react. You're not muted not to react, please. So you can just give a thumbs up. So I'm sure that you guys are actually following, and I'm not just speaking and I'm muted or disconnected. The type of content you're seeing here, if I were to click on this reference, you notice it took me down to the reference page, right? So I did have to start scrolling through the document to get to the reference point of the page. That is because this reference you are seeing here has a style that I've attached to it. And if you look at your Microsoft Word, there's on the home tab, you go down to the style ribbons. So on the home tab, you have the clipboard, font, paragraph, and styles and other things. So now there's a the ribbon called styles. When you get there, you are going to see different styles used. Now, this styles is not just looking at, it's not just give you different designs of headers or different colors. No, I don't know, most of us, I don't know if you are familiar with HTML, but in HTML, which is coding stuff, when you have heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, the lower you go in the headings, the lower the cap lock. You are explaining for the cap lock. Let me just explain, give an illustrations so you get what I'm saying. So let me write this is my first heading. My first heading. So if I were to go to heading 1, I'm going to styles now. Heading 1, heading 2. You notice that the when I moved to heading 2, it was smaller. Let me zoom in so you see very well. So I'm going to heading 1 again. Heading 2. 3, 4, 5. So now this follows the HTML rule. Heading 1 is actually the very first big subheadings you see on any piece you are reading. Then the lower you go, the headings tends to reduce. So the way Word recognize it, I'll go back again to the let me go back to my Word document. I will go back again to the table of content that we're looking at just now. The way Word recognize it, this introduction here is definitely pegged at a higher heading, which is heading 1, and chapter 1 as well. So you are seeing this concept and IoT, others you are seeing here, they are falling behind it. They are doing so because of the way the headings that we give, they are giving a lower headings. So when you give them a lower headings, when you come back to the beginning of the document or to call the headings, the table of content, Microsoft is going to arrange them accordingly to the styles that you have given them. So you have to take note of that. So we are going to do an illustration. Let me just show that to you. Let me see. Hope I'm not going further than my slides. So we're going to be taking main sessions and subsessions. So that's what we're doing now. So we're doing main sessions when it comes to styles and subsessions. And like I explained in the table of contents, the introduction of chapter 1 are your main sessions. Then the others that goes beneath it are your subsessions. And the way you set it determines the styles you use when you're working. So I'll just start. Beyond the basis. Okay. So I want this to be my subsession. Let me say 1. Currently we are looking at styles. So you can say to give it a lower title case because you want it to be a subsession. So I will give this heading 1. Then I'm going to give this heading 2. Now note, if you look at the styles, there's also some styles that are title and subtitle. So the same way you have a bigger heading title, maybe the title of your page, and subtitle in the subsections as well, and so on and so forth. So now I have to edit. If you notice, after styling them, you notice this arrow here, that this right area that is up. So this one there, what it does is that is it that closes or opens the session. You know this is a subsession under it, right? So when I click on this, you notice that the styles collapsed because it's a subsession under this main session. So but when I click on it, it brings it out. So but if I were to write another styles, and give it heading 1. So now if I come here now and click, you notice this second styles that I gave. Let me put styles 2 so you don't confuse. So you're not confused. So you notice the second style didn't close. So the reason it did not close because I gave it the same heading 1, which means that it's not under this beyond the braces. It's a session on its own. It's a main session. But the styles here is a subsession because I gave it what? Heading 2. Do we get this, please? Then I'm going to do another one, styles 2. Please, you guys should give a react to. So my network has gone off or I'm muted. Thank you very much. I would know I've done a session before and almost 30 minutes I was just talking and I didn't know I was muted. Or my network distorted me. Before I was like, okay, that is all for the session. Any question? And that's how I found out that they're not actually hearing me. So that is by the side. So so I'm going to give this now. Heading 3. So now this is another this session and this session now they're not the same because this is heading 1, this is heading 2, and this is heading 3. So but this is the main session. So if I collapse this, all of them are going to collapse. But if I come here and collapse only this, the heading 2I, which is what we call I, collapse because this is under this. So now if I were to call, okay, let me just write something beneath it. So introduction to class. For the styles, let me write, this is a subsession. Okay, to the class is the main session. This is just for illustration purposes. This is a subsession. So should I say this is a subsession? It's actually it. This is a subsession. There's anything like that. So when I was in school, there was okay, this is the child, this is the mother, this is the child, this is the grand. child. So that's another way to put it. So now I'm going to come here and call a table of contents just to show you automatic table of contents. That is off. Okay, so I'm going to do something real quick. Okay, I can call it table of content anyway. Let me just call it anyway. So I'm going to call it table of content. So TLC, that's table of content. I'm going to go to if you want to call a table of content after giving your headings for whatever legal document you type, you have to go to reference. Another reference, you're going to see table of content. So for a long time, using Microsoft Word, I used to think this table of content was not working. So I was like, why did they put that table of content the way it's not working? Because after writing my undergraduate what's it called, 10 papers or research, I have to go and call the table of content and it's not do anything. I'm like, this is not working. Why did they put there? But little did I know that it was because I was not applying the styles in the first place. And I was calling faults calling forth things that were not as if they were. And I was not getting anything. So I always thought, growing up, I always thought that this stuff was not working. And Microsoft Office, they need to check their stuff before putting it out there. But say I got to know better. So now I'm going to call it, and you see now, sorry, let me put it here. Let me call it here. So you can see now that it came. And if you notice, the beyond the basis is the main section, like I mentioned. The styles is the subsection. And you can, like I said, beyond the basis is the mother, the styles is the child, then the styles element figure 2 is the grandchild. So you can see the way it's arranged. That is what you are seeing here on this research work. Where you are seeing chapter 1, they are seeing 1.1. Then when it comes to the grandchildren, you are seeing them, they went beneath. So I didn't manually do that. It was because I've already applied styles to when I was writing. That was when I came here to call it. Everything arranged accordingly. And let me also tell you something. So if I were to move this styles 2 now to the second page, if I move it to the second page now, watch something. Now I'm going to come here. Anytime you change, when you have called the table of content, anytime you change anything in your document, I remember when I did my undergraduate research, I manually arranged my table of content. I manually went to each pages for each headings to go and find their numbers and put it there. And then when I get correction from my lecturers and I need to effect it, after I effected the correction, I manually go back again to check that all the numbers are the same with the page numbers, the same with the what's it called, the headings that are in my table of content. You can imagine such level of stress where all you could just do if you make any adjustment to your legal documents, it just to come here. You are saying it's already telling you update table because Microsoft Word itself have noticed that there have been a change in the document, and that's why it's prompting you to update the table. So now if you update, it's going to ask you two questions. Now, do you want to update the numbers only, or you want to update the entire table? And what does this mean? No, but sometimes when okay, let me just update numbers only. I want to update numbers only because I want to show you something that will explain the other part of it. So update numbers only. Then you are seeing now that the styles that I put is changing now to 2. Can we see that? You can give a thumbs up. Before it was 1, but because I pushed it down to the second page, it's updated to 2. Now, so whenever correction you did, it automatically updates your page numbers and everything for you. So let me explain the second update now that Word was showing. Now, this update entire table, how does it differ from update page numbers only? Sometimes when I do my page table of content, when you call it out, you can see the different table of content here have different styles. Like let me call another one so you see. Let me just call another one so you see what I'm trying to say. So let me see. Let me change it to this one. So you're saying, let me update. Okay. So as you say, it has different styles. So sometimes the font and the font size that you have used on your document, maybe as a legal practitioner, I don't know what font size is common among legal practitioners, but I know for academics, the most generally acceptable font size is New Time Romans, and some organizations as well have their own font, official fonts that they use for their documents. So when you have this official font size or a font size that you must adhere to, and you come and see update table, so sorry, and you call your table of content like this, you may have to want to customize it by highlighting and going to, let's say I'm working in an academic space, so I need to go and change the font size to the Romans that is the acceptable font size, and I'll change it to maybe I'm using 12, or the guideline is 14, set everything. So, but when I have everything customized like this is blue. Sometimes I want all the colors to be black. I don't want it to be blue because of maybe the purpose of the document, of the legal document. So when I have everything customized like this, if I were to make any changes in the document and I come to update, if I update only numbers, the numbers are going to change. But I'm seeing some hands are raised. I don't know if it's a question. If you have a question, just please drop it in the chat box. Let me check the chat box, sorry. Who is Kesta?
Okay, the person is writing on your whiteboard, right?
Yes.
Okay,
It's actually distracting.
okay, let me fix that. Apologies.
Thank you very much. Okay, so there are no questions. I thought there. Can you do your table of contents first before you start putting the subheads? Does it change as you add information to the content? So, okay, I've not really tried it like that, because why I say so is because most times I just write. After writing, I do a lot of research, and I do a lot of data analysis and interpretation. So after writing, after I get sure that I put all my thoughts out there, then before I go, now normally when you're writing, you actually finish your writing first before trying to draft a content. But let's see if it's going to work. I don't know, this thing that's written on my, let me just ignore it on my whiteboard. Let me just ignore it. So let's see. Let's call the content first and see. We're all learning here. You see, I rated myself 7.5 as opposed rated 9. So let's see if it's going to work as well. Creating table of contents. Start by applying the header style and styles guide to the selected text. Okay. So let's do. So it's telling us no table of contents here. That's because we have not applied any styles. Neither have we written anything. But let's just leave it there and start doing it. So we are trying. Let me see the heading. Trial. So we are trying if we can have content first, with the TOC first before writing. So let's see, let me put a subheading as well. So I'm going to style the trial. Don't forget, always use your styles, it's very important. So I'm going to style we go to your home tab, is your home tab, your styles. Me. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
All right, great. Great. My network stopped for a while. I wanted to be sure. So try to, this will be the sub session. Let me put heading too. Great. So now let's see. Let's come here, update the table. So yes, so you can see it worked. So you can actually call your TOC first, and when you finish writing, go update it. So I just found out today, but I've not really tried. Like I said, I just write first before calling my tables. So it works as well. So because of time, I would like us to move forward. Give a thumbs up if you want us to move forward to automatic numbering, session breaks. Yes. I've done main session, subsessions, automatic TOC. So we're going to be looking at automatic numbering and session breaks. Please just give a thumbs up if you want me to move to those things I just mentioned, if you're okay with what I've said so far. All right, great. I'm seeing those ends. Thank you very much. So now automatic numbering. Why is this important? I've gone to a cyber cafe to print out, and the guy was actually okay. Separate it because I had preliminary pages and I had the main pages. So the guys was like, okay, I should copy. And this is not my first experience. I've experienced this like up to 5 times. I should copy the preliminary pages out first to another document entirely. So I can print it. The printer page has to have normal figures, normal figure one, normal figure two, three. Then the main pages have your numerical numbers. Then I should leave the numerical numbers in another document so I can print them so they can have different numbers. And for a long while, I thought this was how it's supposed to be done. Until when I got to learn that, okay, no, you can actually have those numerical numbers and those numerical numbering on the same document. You don't have to separate it first, print one first, copy the other first. No, you can actually be on the same document, and your styles also help with that. Then you also have to use your break sessions. So let's say I want to have preliminary sessions. Okay, let me show you with this other document I opened before. Oh, there are no preliminary sessions here. Let me show you. Let me use another one to illustrate it. Let me use another document to show preliminary sessions. Mm. Mm. Okay, good. So I'm going to show you this document to show you what I mean by you can have both sessions in one place. Okay, let's just go forward. Mm. How do I remove this stuff from there? It's disrupting my view. Hide, yes. Okay. Okay. So let me just zoom in and just go forward. So if you look at from the beginning of this document, you're going to see what Roman figure I, Roman figure 2. You're going to see the binary pages, the Roman figures. So here's my table of contents. Of course, I added my styles. And you can see the table of contents started with the declaration. This is a master text. And you can see all the Roman figures. Then afterwards, you see the numerical numberings in the same document. These are the list of tables, list of appendix, and so on and so forth. So we have all the numbers in the same document. We didn't have to separate them to make it happen and go and merge the document later. No. So that what we're going to be looking at. That's what I mean by automatic numbering. So for you to achieve that, there's this first page. Let me go to that document we were using before. This first page here. What is the document we were using before? Yes. So this first page here, I will call it my preliminary pages. My preliminary page rather. Then this one is my main page. So I'm going to want to put my figure 1 here. So I'm going to insert. You go to your insert tab. Then you go to page number. So I want it to be at the bottom of the page and at the middle. But I want this place to start from 1. I don't want it to start from. So this is important, like I said, if you have some preliminary pages or you want to have different numbers from different sections of your legal documents, and to be able to achieve this without having to have them in two separate documents. So I want to format the number, I want to choose my figure. Great, okay. Okay, let me just copy both of them preliminary pages. So this is my figure I, and I. So the next page, I want it to be my main page. So I'm just going to enter, so I go to the next page, but automatically it's going to read I. Because it's the numbering I put automatically number is set at my figures. But if I want to achieve a different number for that page, I have to break the page. So that's what we're going to do now. I have to break the page to be able to achieve that. Okay, listen. So then I'm going to change the number now. Either it says previous navigation, no. So let's see. No, it changed. It's not supposed to change. Okay, I want to do something. If you're working in the Word document and you want to check anything that is written on the Word document, but you're not seeing it. If you notice, for me to get to the next page, I have to click enter to get to the next page. I have to press different like space bar enter. Now you will not be seeing those different space enter that I've created over to get to the next page. But if you come right here and click on this peace sign here, anywhere you see the peace sign, it's showing you that an entry was made there. And if you see where I made the page break, it's telling you that a page break has been made on this particular section of the document. So this I would say it reveals what is being hidden. So it shows any hidden formatting symbols. It's especially used for advanced layout tasks. So it shows anything that is hidden within the document that you can't see. It shows it to you. So I just cancel that page break. Let me go and do it again to do the numbering. So why that is important? If you're trying to do your different numberings and it's not working, you have to use that thing to check where your page break happened. Most times, maybe that your page break occurred at the wrong place. So I'm coming. I'm doing it now. It said a break. So layouts, click on breaks. So click on next page break. So now it's occurring here. Notice before it came down to this place. So I had to use that P sign to find out where the break happened. So I'm going to come here and this time around, I believe our number is going to go. So one, let's come and see. It changes, right? No, it's not supposed to change. So let me go back and do now this is the moment where those persons that have now attended years, they are going to help me now. I hope they are still around. I hope they are still around. Because it's going to the stage. So I'm going to link to previous. So I don't want it to link to previous. Do you want to delete this header? No, I don't want the header. I'll connect the header to the previous. No. So let me try again. Let's see. So let me go to the previous and renumber it again. So I want to have a here. No, let me go and choose number, page number format. Please, if at any point you're not getting me, just let me know. I'm going to revert
Okay,
back.
someone typed in the chat box. I think you should just show how you got to page break. I'm sure the person probably missed that. The icon you clicked
All right.
on your ribbon
All
button to
right.
get
I
to
will
page
do
break.
that again. Thank you very much. I'll do that again. First of all, let me go and cancel this invisible marker that I put because now it's confusing me. So let me insert my page. Definitely I will go back. Let me just confirm that we have it first. Then I will revert back to that. Thank you very much. Format page bottom. I want to be at the bottom of the page. I want to be Roman figure, yes. So I too. Yes, so you see this one didn't change. So now let me go back again. I'm going to take it slow this time around. So if you want to insert a page break, let me do it on this other document that we have. So this is the first one is our preliminary page. Then this is our main page. Let me put main page. So for the preliminary pages, you go to layout. So there's a layout tab. So you have to be familiar with all the tabs on your Word document. Home, insert drawer, design, layout, reference, mailings, review, view. So this tutorial you are seeing here is not in every Word document. I customize it. I added it. It's an adding tab. So just ignore that. In case you don't see it, it's just so you just are saying your Word document is not complete, like I used to say then. So I use it for referencing. It helps with referencing, collective reference for research work. So just ignore that. Then you have your app and Acrobats. I'm sure everyone should have this Acrobat. It helps you convert your Word document to PDF Acrobats. But there's also another method to do that when you are trying to save your document. You save it as PDF. But it's just a shortcut there. So you go to your layout. At layout, you see this break you are seeing here. So this break here is where you click on. Then now it's asking you what break do you want. Mark the point at which one page ends and the next page begin. So session breaks. Do you want the session break? Set the session break and start the new session on the new page. So it's asking you, do you want to break as an even page or odd page? So normally I usually pick this next page. So just pick the next page. So now it's a page break have occurred, but because my cursor was at the wrong place, if you notice my table of contents splitted. So I'm going to do it again and place my cursor rightly. So if you don't place your cursor rightly, your page break may happen wrongly. That's why you see I have to go and use that paragraph symbol to check where the page break occurred. So I'm going to do it again now. The next page. So now, yeah. So I can go back to my paragraph symbol to check where the page occurred. Now you're seeing the page occurred just right here. So mean that section is different from this section. So now if I want to number, I can come here. Let me remove that paragraph symbol. Number, I want to be at the bottom of the page. And I want to be a Roman figure. If you want to be a Roman figure, I'm sure we all know how to do our numbering. You just format and put it, either you want to do it A, B, or whatever, you just put it there. So I want to start at the beginning, so put it. So this is Roman figure 1. So then this is another page. It's saying 2 because that is 1. It's saying 2, but no, this is another session. So I'm going to come and say this session should not continue. You can see this session is linked to the previous session. Once you click on, like, first of all, I hope you know how to call our headers. If you come to the down of your document and double click, you are calling out the footer. But this is a shortcut. If you want to go to the lower cut of the footer, you have to go to your layout. No, insert. You have to go to your insert and look for your footer. This is the header and the footer. Then you click on the footer and you see the numbering footer. But for a shortcut, you just come down to the last page and double click. Your footer comes up. So that is the shortcut. So I'm going to say 1. I want it to be 1 and I don't want it to be linked to the previous page. So I have to come here and unlink it up here. So when you click on your footer, these options, these ribbons you are seeing here, navigation ribbons and all that, comes up automatically. So 1, if you go up, we're seeing 1 here, but I unlinked it. Why are we saying 1? Let me redo this one again. So I'm going to redo that number because it changed. I didn't want it to change. I want it to be Roman figure. Format. So Roman figure starts as 1 1. No, something is not right. Bottom of the page. 1. Link to previous page. Yes. Alright, so we don't take time on this. Let me just see if I can wrap it up. So okay. But it's reading this one. I don't want to read. Let me look at my page break. So this can be, sometimes it can be tricky. You just have to. Okay, my page break is at the first page, 2, 3. The one is called in the beginning. So I know my page break is there. So I'm going to come here and look at the layouts again. Then I'm going to call the footer. I'm calling the footer. I don't want it to link to the next page. So I'm going to go to format. And continue from previous session. No, start at 1. Yes. Then I'm going to come here, call this one, go to format. Yes. So we're having our Roman figures, we're having our remaining figures. So that is all about how to have different sessions, different automatic numbers. So if I go up now, I'll update our table of content. You're going to see now that we're having, now I'm going to do update numbers only. So I was explaining update the entire table, that when you update the entire table, if you have customized your table of contents, if you update the entire table, all your customizations that you did, putting in the right fonts that you want, the right numbers, is going to alter. So if you don't want those ones to alter, maybe you didn't change any, or if you change any headings, you have to, of course, update the entire table. But if you don't change any sub-headings, any main headings, and you just want the number to effect, you just update your numbers only. But if you change headings, you don't have any choice. Your customization will definitely be altered. But the most important thing is to capture your headings. So you have to change the entire table. But now I'm going to change only numbers because I don't want any change in the customization or headings. So there we have it. We have our numbers. Then another thing I want to let you know that this content here, it has to also be in the table of contents. So if you want it to be on the table of contents, you have to come here and give it a heading, a style rather. So when you give it a style and you come and update page numbers only, you will see now that the content is going to show. Why are you not showing? You're supposed to show. That was the practice. Why are you not showing? So I'm just kidding. Let me look at it again. Edit one. Edit two. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me give it a title style. Please, if you have any question, like I said, you're not sending me anywhere, please draw my attention, drag me back. Okay, I'm going to clean this out now. And let me remove my paragraph. This is the table of contents. And I'm going to give it a style. I want it to be 81. Then let me go and call the heading table of contents. Update table. Okay, let me update the entire table. I forgot. I just explained now that you have to update the entire table if you change any headings. And I just inserted a new heading, which is the table of contents. So of course I have to update the entire table. But it's not calling it. Why are you not calling it? So I want to repeat the same thing I'm doing here, and find out why it's not, trying to figure out why it's not calling. So I'm having all these altercations here because when you are working, and for a starter, you get used to these features and you're working with them, you definitely have one or two issues where you were unable to face. So don't give up, just the way I'm not giving up now. So someone is still writing on my screen, on my whiteboard, and this time around is pink.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
interesting. Okay. Let me check. Let me check that. Apologies for that. Let me check that.
no problem at all. It's no problem at all. Of this entire table. Great. So it's calling. So if I have that there, I can table of contents. All right, great. So let's see. Let's go to the slide. Let's ensure we are right on session breaks. So I just looked at session breaks and automatic numbering. Now we're going to be moving forward. So don't forget, I said your styles is important. Whatever we're going to be doing now moving forward is going to be resting on the styles we have made so far. So if you don't have styles, you can't actually call out anything. Like you see, where we're even trying to call out a table of contents without styles. The feedback was that we don't have any styles. We need to have styles to be able to see the table of content. So I'm going to the next slide. So now we're going to look at handling long documents. Sometimes you write some long court proceedings, minutes. You have a minute, you have a long minute and all that. And you want to navigate, maybe go to where this clause was mentioned, where this case was being referenced and all that. How do you do this? So it will help a lot if you have styles already in place. Now let me show you. So because I have styles in place for this first document we looked at, I can call the navigation pane, the one we know as the navigation pane. I can call the navigation pane. I want this to be small, okay? So let me be sure we are not further faster than our slides. Yeah, we are the right place. So I can call the navigation pane. And how to do that is that you just go to your reference. You go to your reference. Sorry, you go to your view tab, not your reference, your view tab. Then you click on navigation pane. So you can see what just popped out at the, I'm facing my screen, so it's the left side, at the left side of my screen. So what does this do? This navigation pane helps you. If I want to move to chapter 2, I just have to double click here and I'm at chapter 2. Let's say there's a case I'm looking for. I want to move to case 5 and it's after the reference. I will just go down to case 5. So please, if you are seeing any writings on my screen, you are seeing blue, yellow writings, ignore them, please. I think some participants unintentionally are the ones doing those writings. Just ignore them, please. So if you want to go to, let's say I want to go to list of figures, I just click I'm at list of figures. So this is what this navigation page helps you. But this document is even short. It's like 65 pages. If you have a document of over 100 pages, you can't be scrolling up here to search for a particular thing. Navigation helps you. Another thing the navigation page do for you is that it helps you move one session to another session. What do I mean by this? Let's say this list of tables, there are some schools you write, there are some research you do. The list of tables comes before they are in the preliminary pages before before the introduction of whatever you're writing. But there are some research you do. Sorry, I'm using research because that's what I'm used to. So, but as I'm giving this example, you just picture of what it means to you as a legal practitioner. There are some research you do. The list of tables are to come after your reference. So let's say I place this list of tables after the reference because that is what this research it is. But now I find that list of tables is supposed to be at the beginning, along with the preliminary pages. I don't have to go down and start copying or like highlighting all that sections to move it. With the navigation pane, I can just come here, drag it up. You can see I'm dragging it and put it before the introduction. Wow. You can see now that my list of tables is no longer beneath the research, is before, after my introduction, and immediately at the before the introduction. So what I can do now I have to shift this one to another page. And that is it. So that's another essence of you have your this, and all this is being enabled because of the styles I've applied. Because if there were no styles in the first place, I will not be able to get this table of content. And it's from this table of content that this navigation pane is reading from. Let's take note of that. So still trying to point to you why styles is the foundation of everything. So now pages. So from this navigation pane, you can scan through pages instead of going through headings. Then results. For this navigation pane, you can make search. You can find anything using your normal search and replace or search and find that and I'm sure we all know how to do Control F or go to your tab and look for find in Word document. So that's what this navigation pane is all about. Someone else, I've started writing on my screen again. So
That's funny because I've actually disabled the capacity of anybody apart from you two, right? So
Suleiman
I'm
just left
wondering how
two
that
dots
is
on the
happening
screen.
again. But apologies for that.
Okay, I will just ignore it so we'll not be distracted. Okay, then let me go to our slides and look at our next pointer. Okay, automatic numbering. The same thing to what I just did. What I just explained earlier. Now, cross-reference. Now, this is very, very important. And from the research I did, I got to learn that lawyers actually make reference a lot to a lot of cases. Maybe there's a clause used that was said in the first section of the document. I need to, you're writing another section, you need to make a reference to it. So instead of you writing, go to clause 2. When you just write, for example, now, go to clause 2. So whoever is reading that document now, we have to go and look for where clause 2 is, or search clause 2, or scroll up, down, or use navigation pane just to, or in the name of locating clause 2. But with your cross-reference, it makes it very easier for whoever is going to your document, or you yourself, after writing your document, maybe you are reviewing. It makes it easier for you to locate. So instead of me to write go to clause 2 now, if there's already a clause 2 on the document, let me put a subsection as a grandchild and name it clause 2. So in research, most times you do a chart or a graph, and you want to make a reference to it, or even in the appendix, you say find in the appendix or as in the appendix. You have to be able to give a cross reference, so people find it easy to assess it, or you yourself, if you are reviewing your document, to assess it. How I would do it, we use cross reference, and to go to this cross reference, you have to go to your reference tab, the cross reference. Then now, what are we open to cross reference? So is it a numbered item? Is it a footnote? Is it an endnote? Is it an equation? So let me put number item, page number, okay? Okay, I don't think we have any number item on this place. So I'm going to go to a heading. Yes, let me go to heading. So no, I did close two. I didn't give it any styles. You see, close two is not showing here now because I didn't apply styles to close two. I'm saying this to point us to the essence of applying styles to your document. So I'm going to go quickly and apply style two. So you see now that I immediately apply styles to it. Style is coming up in this box I just opened. Let me see if I can zoom in. Unfortunately, I can't zoom in on this box. Okay, I think I can increase the size. So you can see the styles close to just came in. So I'm going to click it. This is what I want to be cross-reference. Now it's there. So I'll go. Let's say this go to clause 2 is in the sixth page of the document. It's beneath it, far away from where the heading was initially mentioned. So I can come here now and go to my reference, go to cross-reference, heading, click clause 2, and click on insert. Now, I can write go to clause 2. So if you notice here, I'm hovering over this clause 2. I'm hovering over it, you notice that something is coming. I'm getting a prompt that says Control plus click to follow link. So there's a link here already. So if I hit on my control key and click on it, you see it took me to the heading that I made, clause 2. So that is the essence of referencing, and that cross-reference is being enabled with your styles. So whatever section of the document, there's a work I recently did on the what's it called, electoral act. So I was working on confirmation bias and information bias about how people tend to believe or tend to accept what they have bias towards. For let me give an example. Our speaker that I think Damilola here that introduced me to this call. Let's say Damilola let's say Damilola has her face is always very dull in the morning. And every morning I see them, her face is dull. And if someone comes and tell me that, do you know that mother don't used to sleep at night? She used to do night work. Like after working at normal hours, she have another extra night work. I would say, no wonder. Her face is usually very dull every morning when I see her. It must be that night work. Now that is that even without like trying to ask the person, are you sure? Or how do you know? Or why making you say so? I already have a bias that I usually see that mirror's face do every morning. So I have this tendency to easily believe that notion. So that was the conventional bias I was writing on relation to the electoral act. So because of how the electoral act of sorry, I'm digressing this. I'm trying to make a point. How the electoral act of 2022 didn't really hold according to what was promised by several Nigerians. These ads that came out this year, there was several criticism of the ads, and a lot of criticisms are coming out. Even both the ones that are true are not true, and you see people believing them just because of the bias that have already been established from the previous ads. Now, so in my work, I was trying to reference a section of the ads. So in that kind of a situation where I have to call a reference, this cross-reference will definitely help me a lot for people to easily click and go and view that section of the art I'm referencing to. So I don't know if you get me. So this is the point I was trying to make. I'm trying to make digressing a little. And I also say this again because if you don't take anything from this class, from these sessions, I want you to take that styles is a foundation. In fact, if you don't If you're not able to do anything, be able to do styles alone. I'll be happy that yes, actually came and I achieved something, like someone got something from the class. And from our folks that already having 9/10 for Word document, please do it to contribute to the chat box about styles if you have any comments or contributions to make. Thank you. So this is all about adding long documents. So let's just go straight to the next talking point. Okay, we still have time. So quickly, let's look at I'm hoping we are able to cover everything. If we can't, I'm happy to always have another session to ensure we cover everything that we need to, if the team, of course, that organize this allows it. So templates plus quick parts. Here we're going to look at legal use case and template doc. So growing up, I used to do a lot of affidavit. Even tonight, I still do. So, and most times when we go to the court, they ask us go to one cyber cafe beside the court and get your affidavit, and we have to go to a cyber cafe. And the people who get to the cyber cafe, they usually have these templates that they have on their system. What they have to do is just repeat your name and your stuff. Then, but now I see recently, I think 2 years back, I tried to do affidavit and I found out that the process has been improved on. So instead of you just going to the court, I may be wrong. We have lawyers there, as you can correct me. So instead of you just going to the courts, there you can go to a website, and one of the websites of I think it was the high courts I wanted to go to, and download a template already for the affidavit I want to make. And I was able to, download it and it puts my details, and I was able to use it. So the same thing goes. So as a lawyer, there are some cases or some documents you write at almost every time, similar things. So you don't need to every time start afresh writing these cases. You can have a template document that you use for this, and quick parts actually help a lot in achieving these template documents. Or even if the documents are not really similar, but most times you have to use the same clause or the same you actually there's a particular art that you for this particular research or case you are looking at, you are going to be referencing. So it's very quick, it's very good to save it in quick parts so you can easily call it out instead of every time having to always type it or having to go back to the art to read to get it word for word what it's saying. So now I'm going to show you how that works. um so to do that quick part, we are going to go to insert your insert tab. Now, you see this place that's saying quick parts. So if you look at, I have some already here. Please, let me check the chat box. Are there any questions in the chat box? Can you do your content? Okay, I've seen that. Nice meeting you. Okay, thank you. Hello everyone, good afternoon.
Okay, so I'm keeping my eyes on it so that you're not distracted. If there's any question,
All
I'll bring
right.
your attention
Oh,
to it.
great, great, great. That's very thoughtful. Thank you. All right, so let me just go straight to what I was doing before. Okay, so the quick part. So you just click on this quick part. Let me put my cursor somewhere that we always say. Quick part. Field. So you see, I called that in, and that's my name, my nickname, and popped up. So just to show you how it works. So now I'm going to write. So this is the ad for these quick parts that we are learning. So now I'm going to highlight. I'm going to come to quick parts. So you see save selection to quick parts. So you can even save you can save a paragraph, you can save a clause, you can save a maybe you don't want to forget the art and the session of the art rather. You can save it, anything you want to save at all. Do I save? So you have to give it a name. So let's say this is my first clause. So the way you're giving it a name, this is what we call metadata. It's for you to easily be able to recognize what that particular quick ad that the quick parts that you have saved was about. So with the name, give it a very descriptive name. So once you see the name, you're able to tell, okay, this is the contents of it. So let's say first clause. So yes, it's our first clause here. So learning quick description, learning quick parts. I'm just using this one for illustration purposes. Okay. So I've saved it. So let's say we were to call it in another document. So let's go to this document. If it's be there, it definitely should be there. Insert. New part. So you are seeing it, right? So this is another document. And the quick part I just saved in that document, I'm able to, you can see the name is first clause. There you can see the description I put, learning quick parts. So I was able to call it from here. So now this is the essence of quick parts for you to be able to, and it helps a lot if you want to make a template. Let's say I want to make a affidavit template or a statement template, or a proceeding template. I don't know. These days, there are a lot of what's it called? Is this, for lack of a better word, for the legal right legal term, I would say serving documents. There are a lot of serving service, if I should put it like that is being done online for cybercrime, defamation, and all that. And I see the letters and I read them, and something just occurred to me that a template of that kind of a letter could be drafted as well to aid when trying to duplicate for or do for others. So quick parts and template doc can also work in this essence. So normally when you want to do a template, depending on what you are doing it for, you have to have your headings, everything, give them your style. Then you may want to save a section of it to quick part, like I just illustrated, to be able to know how to call it back in. So let's continue. Are we all good? I'm having a feeling that the class is warmer than we started. We started very hot. Now it's getting warm. Could you just give a thumbs up if you are still with me and you want us to proceed? Let me check my screen. No thumbs up. How do I
Okay.
get to styles?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Transfer this call. Okay, nice meeting you. Do we need to do anything to get the CPD point for this training? What's CPD?
Okay, no, don't worry. That's not for you. I answered that already.
Let's
Okay.
proceed. Okay, I'm saying let's proceed. Thank you very much. So I
Okay, so
have
someone is asking very quickly, sorry. Someone is asking, how do you get to the can you click on the quick part again so that the person can see? But for our esteemed participants, I understand this is slightly technical because this is where there's a crunch for time, and because our speaker also has an emergency to catch up with. All this session and all previous sessions in the TMT series, you can always at your leisure and time catch up with them on our YouTube channel. The session is being streamed live on YouTube so that you can take time and practicalize and pause and play as many times as you think you need that. So that because this is a very timed session, but with YouTube you have all the time in your hands. So if you please continue.
All right, thank you. So I'm seeing some questions and I'm a little bit crushed for time. So I don't know if I can finish my slides, but like I said, I'm happy to come back. Because like I'm sorry that we didn't start as we're supposed to and finish up. So for now, I would just like to address the questions that have been asked and take any
Okay.
questions. Let's see if I
So
can
if
do that
that's
before
it, I
2:30.
can let me read
Yes,
the questions for you so that you don't have
yes,
to do
please.
that. Okay, so the most recent one is to go over the quick parts again so that the person can see how you got to quick parts.
Okay. So I will just do that. So I say the quick part, you have to go to your insert tab. So whenever I'm teaching Microsoft, any Microsoft tool, because I just started from, because this was the essence of this class, I like to go from the very basic to show you through the tabs and the ribbons and each command. So everything you are seeing up here, they are called tabs. Then these sessions you are seeing here, they are ribbons. Inside ribbons, all this stuff you are saying are called commands. Command means that it helps you give instruction to display certain things to you. So for the quick parts, you have to go to your insert tab. So the insert tab is after the home tab. So when you get to the insert tab, you have to go under the test ribbon. The test, you can call it column as well. The test column, they know that the test column, you see several commands that you can click on. The part of the commands is the quick ribbon, as I'm seeing here on my screen. So where you can, click for any saved stuff that you have previously done. So second trial, let me just do quickly. Second trial, I want to also touch something. I saw a question there. So I want to touch it at the same time. Second trial. So now I want to do for this second trial. Okay, quick. I'm going to quick part. So save. Now, this is another thing that why I say I want to touch this one. There are categories. So you can give any categories that you want. Maybe you want to save, you want to have a particular quick part for clause, for sessions of the arts. You can call these arts. Let me say electoral art. I don't know this period. I just love referring to the electoral art because it's what my eyes is on this period. So let's just say electoral art. And so you want to save there are some particular arts that you're interested in as the lawyer investigating or researching or just knowing about. So you can write it there, have a category for it. So any quick part you want to, any section of your document you want to save and you like to call upon later is stored in that electoral art. Then this is another example as a description. Now you click OK. Then let me go to another document and call it. So I'm going to, let me just create a new document so you know that I went to another document. This is another fresh document. If you're seeing anything on the screen, just ignore that. Then you go to your insert, like I said. Under your insert, click on quick parts. Then you are seeing now electoral art. It has a section, a category now. This one is showing general, but this one is showing electoral arts. So click it. I see your second trial. So that is it. I don't know, any other question?
Okay, the second question is, the person is asking, what if the safe selection is not highlighted?
It
So I
has to
don't
be
know if you understand
highlighted
that.
because yes.
Okay.
Because you are trying to tell, because there are several things written on the document. So you're trying to what's it called? Put the focus of that particular command in that column on that session. So these things are inbuilt codings, like there are codings behind all this stuff. There are instructions given to all this stuff to recognize society patterns, and one of those patterns is you highlighting them. If we're working in the Google Doc now, I would have showed you how the essence of highlighting documents when using the Gemini AI on Google Doc. So I'm very sorry we're not able to get to AI in this Microsoft Word. I will explain more about what the essence of you highlighting some sessions when you're trying to make some comments.
Okay, thank you for that. There's another question here. The person is asking, is it possible to save more text in the electoral art category? I'm sure that's the quick parts system.
Yes. You can say a paragraph. Yes.
Okay. So to our esteemed participants, I just want to quickly interject because we are trying to wrap up to say that please note that she's using a paid version of Microsoft Word. Generally, I mean, we've said it at some point in the course of our TMT webinar series. We don't use cracked version of Microsoft Word or cracked version of any software. So you will have to subscribe and pay to use. This is a paid version of Microsoft Office Suite. I'm correct, right, Ebube? Can you hear me? Okay.
Hello.
Yes, I said this is a paid version of Microsoft Word, right? This is a paid of Microsoft Office Suite. What you used for the demonstration.
Oh, it's not.
Oh, it's not paid.
It's not paid.
Oh, so that's the free version.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you, but it's not cracked. It's not the cracked version anyway.
Is this call recorded?
Yes, the call is being recorded. And we
So
are lawyers.
I guess I can't answer that.
And we are lawyers. We encourage ethics. So please, no crack
So all I
versions.
can tell you that it's not paid and it has limitations because it's a free version. So it has limitations.
Okay. So please, we don't encourage cracked software patronage. So
Yes.
someone is asking, someone is saying mine is paid, but the interface is quite different. So
yes, so because yours is paid, like I said, so definitely the interface will be different.
Okay. I'm trying to
but I'm very sure that the tabs and the commands are similar, are the same.
Are similar, yes.
Yes.
Even if you're not using Microsoft Word, even if you're using WPS, all the other softwares is pretty much the same.
Yes.
Okay.
Although the tabs and the commands are the same, although you have to learn, because most times the navigation, like where you see these static commands in Microsoft Word, may be different where you see it on the WPS.
Okay.
Yes, if the same thing with Google Doc, but
So
these commands, these functions are there.
Okay, I'll say that generally is a question of practice. I mean, let's just get familiar with the word processing software that we use. You can just play around with it, check what's available on each of the on the ribbon, the navigation panes, the options you have, and then you just have to keep trying and trying. And most importantly, please no cracked version, because we talked about privacy severally. And last week, in at least our last two sessions, we have talked about how to use AI ethically for lawyers. Ethics is very important for us, especially because confidentiality is at the core of what we do. So I can see the comments. Thank you so much. We have had almost more than 330 persons on this call, and the number kept growing by the hour. Thank you so much to everyone. General questions for those who are asking about CPD points. You filled the form at the point of registration, your details were captured. You won't need to. So with that, your CPD certificate will be processed and sent to your email like we do for all our previous sessions. That's number one. Number two, we'll be back again next week for another session. Yes, we have another speaker. Next week, we'll be discussing Excel. I know numbers and data and figures is not something most lawyers are very comfortable with. So Excel will be the conversation for next week. And once again, like I said earlier, you can always go back to YouTube. And this and all our previous sessions are on YouTube. So you can take your time, look through it, and practicalize. Just keep trying. The consistency, mastery is in trying. So as we keep trying, and for those of us who probably don't have secretaries or EAs in our office and have to be the ones to process our documents, I mean, by process, I mean type, you can get better with practice and do that yourself over time. So thank you so much. And yes, lastly, please. So usually our webinars are paid for those who are not members of the Nba-Slp. But in this webinar and the previous one was free because we just felt the need to open up our conversations to the larger legal community. So please, the link is in the chat box to register as a member of the Nba-Slp. And trust me, the fee is not onerous. Really, it's not costing a harm and a leg to join the section, so that all our webinars you can attend for free. Okay, Ebube, please, you can go ahead. Your hand is raised. Hi, Ebube, can you hear me?
Sorry, I was speaking and I was muted. So I wanted to say that for those that don't have access to Microsoft Word, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Oh, great. So for those that don't have access to Microsoft Word, there are several free platforms out there, and maybe you are crunched for pockets to get to subscribe to one. There is WPS there has a lot of free, just the same way I'm able to use this free version of Microsoft Word. It has a very free, and most times I prefer to use WPS to work on Microsoft Word if I'm working offline. But if I'm working online, I prefer to use Google Doc. So don't limit yourself to just Microsoft Word as a lawyer. There are other platforms that you can access on low budget and sometimes even free. So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that input. Thank you very much. So to our very esteemed participant, thank you for staying on the call for so long. To our very delectable moderator, thank you, Miss Charity. Thank you so much. And to everyone. So as usual, today was different. Our sessions are usually from 2 p.m. Today we had to adjust the timing because of logistics for everyone, for our speaker. So next week, 2 p.m., we'll be here again. The flyer will be out. And yes, subject to the approval of the speaker, the slides for today's session will be sent to everybody who registered for the webinar series. So stay tuned. Please join the Nba-Slp, because this is not the only committee in the SLP. This is just TMT. There are a lot of other committees. You're a member of the SLP, you get access to all the freebies that the SLP has to offer across all the committees. So please, you're not just subscribing for TMT when you pay to be a member of the SLP. You're getting everything that comes with being a member of the SLP. So on this note, on behalf of the chairman of the committee, Fernandez Marcos OBNM, who is unavoidably absent, and the chairperson of the section, Mrs. Folashade Ali SAN, who is also unavoidably absent. My name is Damilola Victoria Labi. Once again, I am the secretary of the TMT committee. And as usual, it is always my pleasure to have you on our series. It is always a very fantastic session. The goal of the committee is we want to equip lawyers to use technology ethically, responsibly, and very as fluent as possible. We want lawyers to be technologically fluent. So we'll see you next week. Thank you so much. And to everybody, thank you so much. Thank you against all odds. You were able to pull this off. Thank you, and thank you so much, everyone. So we will see you next week. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. All right, bye-bye.